how to relax when you're super stressed out. If you're really stressed, people might say, you need to relax. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't relax. Do you have any idea how stressed I am? Well, they're right. But it's almost impossible to go from a state of that level of stress to a state of relaxation unless you just know how. So today we're going to go through several things that you can do to reduce that high stress level so that you can do a reset, you can feel some relaxation, and just get back into your own skin for a minute, okay? First, though, I want to talk to you about what stress is. Stress gets a really bad rap because people just think of it as a negative thing, but it doesn't have to be. Stress is your body's response to things that are uncertain, unknown, sudden, unplanned, or even things that are planned but are very, very intense. So what are some negative things that can cause stress? Arguments, losing a job, an accident, something like that. Some positive things that can inspire stress are like having a baby, getting a promotion, meeting someone who just really makes your heart sing. Those things do cause stress in your body, but they're positive results of stress. So today, what we're going to talk about, though, is how can you relax when you're feeling the negative effects of stress. But I just wanted to mention those two kinds of stress so that you'll be on the lookout for the good kind, so that stress overall isn't considered the bandit or the bad guy in your life. Okay, so I will be right back with those few things that you can do to take yourself from a state of stress to a state of relaxation. But first, check and see if you're a subscriber here, and if not, please click the subscribe button and the little bell because we're dropping videos like this for you all the time to help you live a better life. All right, I'll see you in a second.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
It's not super easy to go to a state of relaxation when you're starting to feel stress, especially if people say, you should just relax. Then that usually just makes you even more stressed out, right? But there are some things that you can adopt into your life that are going to make you more able to handle stress and to go from a state of stress to relaxation. And the first one I always like to start with is make sure that you're hydrated. I've given this formula several times, even within the last couple of months, but figure out how much you weigh in pounds, cut that number in half. So I'll just use myself. I weigh 140 pounds. So you cut that number in half. For me, that's 70. And then that's how many ounces of water I should be drinking a day. So figure out how much water you're supposed to be drinking and do it. And if you think, golly, 70 ounces, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's why I drink 90 a day. I actually drink 20 ounces more than that formula tells me to drink. And some days I go over 100. It is possible to drink too much water, but I promise if you're sticking around the 100 ounce a day for a grown adult, 100 ounce a day area, you're not going to OD on water. Make sure that you're hydrated. Your body is not going to work well being dehydrated, not drinking enough water. And I'm not talking about, well, I mixed this tea with water. No, that has caffeine in it. Even decaffeinated tea has caffeine in it. Water, unadulterated, pure water. If you're not drinking enough water, then your body has more stress in it because it doesn't have what it needs to function. So just drink water, okay? If you don't like it, down 20 ounces when you first wake up and set alarms every couple hours just to down 20 ounces. Just chug it. Get it over with. And that formula, here's one little thing to add to it. If you drink caffeine, for every ounce of caffeinated beverage that you drink, add another ounce of water. So for me, 70 is my number for how much I need to drink. So if I drink 10 ounces of caffeine, then I need to up that number to 80 for that day, just for that day. And then you can cut the caffeine out because that also puts your body in stress. So number one, be hydrated. Number two, eat well, eat fresh. Don't eat processed foods and stuff that comes through fast food restaurants. Y'all, that's not real food. It's really bad for you. So eat well, eat fresh, eat like you're feeding someone who you love, because you really should love you. You're the most important person in your life. You are the only person in your life who's there from the very beginning to the very end. Think about that for a second. You are your own number one. So eat well, eat natural, cut out soda. Please, please by all means. And I used to drink lots of several a day. I loved Diet Coke. Oh my goodness. I went from several a day to one a day. And then I went from one a day to one every other day. And then I went one a week. And then I just kind of lost my taste for it. And now if I have one, I'll have one sip and I'll go, no, never mind, bad call, off plan. It just doesn't taste right. When you stop giving yourself all these chemicals, then all of a sudden when you re-expose yourself to the chemicals, you're like, no. Cut alcohol if you can. You'll feel much better. And yes, you can still have fun with your friends. And please, please, please cut tobacco. Those things, you're just putting extra toxins in your body, and that causes a base level of stress, okay? When you have those things in your body, a lot of people will say, well, a glass of wine helps me to relax. In the short term, you think that the glass of wine helps you to relax, but I promise in the long term, deep breathing would do one heck of a lot better job, which brings me to point number 3, and that is meditate daily. If you don't know how to meditate, we've got several videos here on GILD Coaching's YouTube channel that teaches you just meditation for beginners. I even have a 10-minute pre-meditation breathing just to get you into the place where you can meditate. And if you're brand new to meditation, just that pre-meditation breathing is your meditation. That is your practice right now. If you meditate every single day for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, your central nervous system will have a lower level of resting stress. You will be able to relax better. If you are super stressed out, closing your eyes and doing a deep breathing session. And how do you do that? Very easily. I'll do it here for 30 seconds. Close your eyes with me. Breathe in through your nose. Down to your lower belly. Feel your rib cage go out to the side. Hold it at the top and then slowly exhale through your mouth. Again, in through your nose, down to your lower belly. Hold it at the top. Just feel how good that air feels swirling around in there. Did you feel your rib cage go out to the side and blow out through your mouth? This next time, I want you to notice if your shoulders raise. They shouldn't. Inhale. My nose made a funny noise. That's funny. And exhale. When you're super stressed out, your shoulders are going. When you breathe in, do a deep breathing exercise like that. That is a form of meditation. It's a form of mindfulness. Breath brings you right into this moment, and that will help you slow down and calm down and relax immediately. I feel more relaxed just after doing those couple of breaths with you. But when you're doing it, notice, okay, great. That means I'm breathing into my upper chest. All right. I need to breathe into my lower regions of my lungs. So let that out. All right. I'm going to leave my shoulders down. I'm going to focus on my rib cage expanding outwards. And you can actually feel it when you pay attention to it. If you watch a baby breathe, their belly is what's going up and down, not their shoulders. We've unlearned how to breathe. So do the deep breaths. Visualize the breath going all the way into the bottom of your lung cavity so that the whole of your lungs are inflated. That is an immediate release because when your lungs fully inflate, they massage this awesome nerve that goes all the way down your spine. And that nerve goes up to your brain and says, hey, send out some relaxation hormones. And so you start getting that infusion. That is why deep breathing is so important when you're super stressed. All right, what are we on? Number 4, can you cut any of the triggers? I have a sweet client. Oh, I just love this woman. I can't tell you who it is because confidentiality, but she's so sweet, an amazing person. And she would have weekly phone calls with her mom, and her mom does not sound like an amazing person. Her mom sounds like someone who just really likes to argue and to vent and complain. And so she's always very upset. My client's very upset after this phone call. And I said, why do you make this phone call? And she's like, well, it's my mom. Like, I've got to call her. And I'm like, do you? Really? Do ya? No, you don't. I said, why don't you just skip it and see what happens? So she skipped it. Mom called. Why didn't you call me? Well, I was doing other things. Oh, so she stopped calling her mom. The mom called her. And then as soon as the mom would start to get into the venting and negativity, I taught her a few key phrases to say, oh, you know what? I've decided that I'm not going to absorb this type of energy anymore. Is there anything positive that you want to talk about? No? Okay, well then I'll just talk to you another time. Click. Are there any triggers that you can cut? And if there are triggers that you say, well, I just can't cut this trigger, bring it to me. Well, yeah, my contact information is in the video description. I would love to talk with you about the triggers that you can't cut. Because if somebody can cut their weekly call to their mom, and I'm not saying don't talk to your mom, I'm saying cut the habit that is the trigger for you. Okay, number 5, do you know what your values are? We have a freebie, the GILD Coaching Life Planner. I believe that there is a link to it in this video description. If not, there is a link to it on our homepage of our website, gildcoaching.com. Download the GILD Coaching Life Planner. It is a shortened version of something that we do with our clients when we first start working with someone. And it helps you come up with your values, your mission, your vision, and your purpose. Figure out what your core values are. And P.S., they're not the same that they were 5 years ago, because you're not the same. You have had new experiences. The world is ever changing. So your values also change. So take just a second, check in with your values, and make sure that you're living according to your values. Because if you're not, that's going to cause your stress to go up. Exercises like that will bring your stress down immediately, because you can't focus on them while you're focusing on other things. So if you're having a moment of acute stress, say, oh, let me go do a personal development exercise. Poof! All of a sudden you are in the moment with your personal development, and that stress, it might still be there a little, but it has significantly reduced. And lastly, what kind of goals do you set for yourself? Are you like Jane at all, who my coach and my mentor and my therapist, they keep me accountable on the way lofty goals that I set? I set unrealistic goals for myself all the time. And I'm not saying don't set high, lofty goals. Set high, lofty goals, but make sure that there's a checks and balances there, that they're actually realistic. I recently taught at a women's conference. It was a women's networking event. And I asked all the women in the room if they felt like they held themselves to higher standards than they held anyone else to. It was women executives in the room. So they're girl bosses. And every single one of them said yes. Set realistic goals. When you're setting realistic goals, you're not causing your stress level to spike, and it will come down. If you need help setting realistic goals or anything else, I do invite you to set an appointment with me. My appointment link is in the video description, and we can just talk about it, see what's next for you. Whether it's working with one of us or not, it's fine. That's what the appointment is for, just kind of figuring out what your home base should be, and then you can go from there. If this video has been of help to you, give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't already subscribe to our channel, please do click that subscribe button and the little bell so that you'll learn when we drop videos like this to help you live a happier life. See you soon.